The afternoon was shattered by a scream that ripped through the quiet of Pine Hollow. Emily's scream, raw and piercing, froze Daniel's heart as he stood in the half-finished nursery, a crib screw dangling in his hand. He bolted out the back door, his breath catching as he hit the patio. Blood, so much blood stained Emily's white sundress, seeping into the flagstones where she lay, her hands clutching her thigh. Her whimpers clawed at the air, animalistic, desperate. Beside her, the wicker chair she loved, now tipped over, looked innocent. But there, half hidden under the cushion, was a tiny, faded pink baby shoe, impossibly small, chillingly out of place. Daniel, a man used to keeping calm as head of security at Riverbend Hospital, felt his mind splinter. His hand pressed against his chest, as if he could feel the faint heartbeat of their unborn daughter, Ava, from their last ultrasound. "Emily, oh God, Emily," he rasped, dropping to his knees. The air carried the sharp tang of blood, cutting through the sweet scent of Emily's roses. Her eyes, wide with terror, met his. "The chair, Daniel. I just sat down," she gasped, her voice ragged. His gaze snapped to the chair. Silver glinted from the torn cushion razor blades, multiple, angled upward like a trap. And that shoe, a warning? A taunt? Fury, cold and sharp, surged through him. This wasn't an accident. Someone had tried to kill his wife, his child, in their own home. 6 months ago, they'd moved to Pine Hollow, chasing good schools and a tight-knit community for Ava. Daniel dealt with chaos at work. Home was supposed to be his sanctuary. Emily, a photographer whose VY Brandt prints lit up their house, had been glowing in her 3rd trimester. They'd spent evenings on this patio, her feet propped on that very chair, dreaming of Ava's future. "Ava and I will watch so many sunsets here," she'd said, her smile soft as the dusk. Now, that memory was defiled, fueling a rage that burned icy in his chest. Trouble had started smelling and sign note about their mailbox's improper alignment. Then came the emails, a barrage from Mrs. Linda Harper, Pine Hollow's HOA tyrant. Her tight curls and clipped voice radiated disdain. Their doormat was too bold, Daniel's car washing wasteful, Emily's wildflowers aesthetic violations. Linda's rules were gospel. Daniel had urged patience. "She's just a control freak, Em. Ignore her." Emily, ever the peacemaker, tried. She'd offered Linda iced tea one sweltering day. Linda had sneered, "I'm too busy keeping this neighborhood respectable to sip syrup." Mrs. Larson, spitting Emily's maiden name like an insult. "And that floral chair? It's tacky. Read the guidelines, Section 3, Clause C." Emily came inside shaken, but Daniel brushed it off a mistake. Then there was Jake, a sullen handyman who did odd jobs. A month back, he'd asked to borrow Daniel's pricey pressure washer. Emily, knowing Daniel's care for his tools, declined politely. Jake muttered about uppity newcomers and stormed off. Daniel thought little of it. But last week, real danger surfaced. Emily called, voice trembling. "Daniel, come home." He found her on the porch, tears streaking her face, pointing to their vegetable garden tomatoes, herbs, zucchini, all smashed into the dirt. Amid the wreckage was Emily's missing trowel and a muddy boot print, too big for Linda's sensible flats. "Linda was here earlier," Emily choked out. "Another notice our fence height. I said I wasn't feeling well, asked her to leave it." She glared. Daniel said, "Some people think they're above the rules. They'll learn." Later, a crude note appeared in their mailbox. "Keep out of what's not yours. Some things are sacred." Daniel installed cameras, but it was too late. Now, kneeling in Emily's blood, Daniel's training kicked in. "Breathe, Em, with me," he said, his voice steady despite his pounding heart. He eased her hands away deep gashes, one glinting with embedded metal. Razor blades placed him aim. He pressed the towel hard against the wounds, her cry tearing at him. "I know, baby, I'm sorry." His blood-slick fingers dialed 911, his eyes flicking to the chair, then the pink shoe. This was planned, VY Sias. Linda's obsession with that chair was clear, but the shoe, the boot print, the note, Jake? Someone else? Sirens wailed, shattering Pine Hollow's calm. Paramedics swarmed. Daniel gave Emily's medical history, his voice tight with fury. Neighbors gawked misses. Carter, hand to mouth. Mr. Ellis pale. Linda Harper stood on her pristine lawn, arms crossed, her face not shocked but smug, a flicker of triumph in her eyes before she masked it. Daniel's blood froze. Then he saw Jake, lingering at the crowd's edge, his scowl unreadable. "We're taking her to Riverbend," the paramedic said. "Check the lacerations, the baby." "You coming?" Daniel nodded, turning to a young officer. "Investigate her," he said, pointing at Linda, HOA president. "She's been harassing Emily for months. That chair was her target. And Jake, the handyman's got a grudge. There's a boot print from our vandalized garden, and that shoe." The officer nodded, eyeing the chair as her partner bagged the blades and shoe. In the ambulance, Emily's hand was cold in his. "Ava, is she okay?" she whispered. "They'll take care of you both," Daniel vowed. But as the doors shut, cutting off Linda's gloating face and Jake's glare, a harder resolve settled in him. He'd use every tool he had. Riverbend's ER, his domain, felt alien. Dr. Patel, the obstetrician, met them, her face grave. "We'll stabilize her, Daniel." Banished to the waiting room, he paced, Emily's cries echoing in his mind. He called Tom Reed, his top investigator, an ex-cop. "Tom, Emily was attacked. Razor blades in her chair. I suspect Linda Harper, maybe Jake. Pull my patio camera footage, last 24 hours. Check the garden vandalism from last week." An eternity later, Dr. Patel emerged. "Emily's stable. Deep cuts, muscle damage, but no major arteries. She'll scar, need a transfusion. The baby Ava's fine, strong heartbeat. But the stress puts her at risk for preterm labor." Relief hit Daniel like a wave, tainted by rage. His phone buzzed. Tom. "Got the footage. It's bad. Sending a link." The video flickered. Their patio, 10:15 a.m. Linda Harper crept in, furtive, clutching a dark bag. She donned gloves, pulled out razor blades, and with chilling precision, embedded them in the chair's cushion, points up. She tested one, nodded, her face cold malice. Then, from the bag, the pink shoe. She held it, almost tenderly, before placing it beside the chair. The microphone caught her hiss. "This'll teach that smug little breeder to follow rules. Some don't deserve kids." Daniel's stomach churned. Breeder. The shoe wasn't random, it was personal, twisted. Tom's voice crackled. "Garden footage? Not Linda. A guy, hoodie, boots, quick and brutal. Could be Jake." Two separate attacks, Daniel. Another clip showed Linda spraying Emily's roses with an unlabeled bottle, wiping it carefully. "Poison?" Daniel forwarded everything to Detective Larson. "Linda's your chair culprit. The garden, someone else, maybe Jake. Test those roses." Emily was moved to a private room, sedated, her bandaged thigh a stark reminder. Detective Larson called. "Linda's footage is damning. We're arresting her assault, fetal endangerment. Found herbicide in her home. The roses tested positive. Jake's in for questioning. He confessed to the garden and no tanger over a tool dispute, but swears he knew nothing about the chair." Pine Hollow bust. Mr. Carter, HOA treasurer, called, horrified. "Emergency meeting tonight, Daniel. We need you." The clubhouse was packed, faces angry, ashamed. Daniel stood, voice steady but burning. "Linda Harper tormented my wife for months, escalating to an attempt on her life and Ava's. She planted blades, a baby's shoe, poisoned our roses. Some of you ignored her cruelty. This is what happens when bitterness festers unchecked." Gasps filled the room. Then, the doors burst open. Linda, handcuffed, shrieking. You and your flaunting wife deserved it. Ruining my neighborhood." Her unhinged rant exposed her envy, her loss of a stillborn daughter decades ago. The shoe hers, a symbol of her warped grief. Linda was con vy Ted, sentenced harshly for her calculated cruelty. A CIVYL suit funneled her assets to Ava's trust. Jake got probation for vandalism. Emily healed, her scars a map of Sir VY Val. Pine Hollow rallied meals, a replanted garden, new roses donated by a local nursery. The HOA reformed, Mr. Carter leading with fairness. Ava Grace arrived, her cries a defiant hope. One sunny day, Daniel found Emily on their new patio bench, sketching a garden with a tiny baby among blossoms. Ava's garden, she whispered, holding a perfect white rose. Pine Hollow, once a nightmare, became a testament to resilience. Ava's nursery, holding that pressed rosia symbol not of fear, but of love's triumph. What do you think? Could Linda's grief ever justify her actions, or was she purely a monster? Should Daniel have acted sooner on the warning signs? And what about Jake? Was his punishment fair, or did he get off too easy? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if this gripped you, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you on edge.